from Amazon MGM Studios, we have After the Hunt, directed by Luca Guadagnino and from a script by Nora Garrett. The film follows Julia Roberts' character, Yale professor Alma Imhoff. Alma is blindsided when her student, Maggie, played by Io Adebri, accuses another professor of sexual assault. So now, please welcome to the stage producer Alan Mandelbaum, cinematographer Malik Hassan Saeed, and casting director Jessica Renane. Okay, now we're going to roll a clip.
Who presented last, Arthur? Excuse me. What are you doing here?
Who are you? How could you?
Go to my office. Just wait for me.
I was fired this morning. Not suspended, I was fired.
You want to talk? We can talk, but not here and not now. Not here.
I told you the truth. You just blatantly ignored it just to save yourself.
You are being paranoid. Just go to my office and wait for me.
Oh. No, I think I'm right on top of something. Something that I just couldn't see before. You see, I used to think that you and me, we had a mutual fealty to integrity, to the ethics that you so glibly teach, but I'm realizing I gave you too much fucking credit.
You sound insane right now.
Professor Imhoff? Are you okay?
Oh,
No, I don't know, Ashley, Katie. I'm not sure. This blood on her hands may never wash off.
stop it. Yeah, I'm fine, Katie. Thank you.
You know the truth, and you won't say it, because it'll make you look bad. You're gonna let them fucking ruin me, ruin my fucking life, and you can easily stop it.
You give me too much power, Hank. I did not do this. You did this to yourself.
It's convenient. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Fell on my own sword. You were the one holding it.
Talk about tense. Whew. Alan, let's start with you. So this was written by a first-time screenwriter, Nora Garrett. It's amazing work. And you at Imagine Entertainment met with her early 2023. And I believe by June you were in production, which is incredible. What was it about her script that really lit a fire under you like that?
Yeah, actually, it was January of 2024 was when I first read the script and met with Nora.
I got the year wrong,
Yeah,
sorry.
so it was a rocket ship. It was just one of the most impressive pieces of writing that I've read in a really long time. I think it was incredibly thoughtful, amazing characters, really sticky themes that felt very timely and relevant, and I think above all, it was also highly entertaining. There was a great mystery at the center of the story in terms of Alma's backstory, as well as, you know, did this event happen the way that we're hearing, and whose side the story is the truth, and this sort of investigation of, you know, our relationship with the truth that was done in an incredibly intelligent and thoughtful way. And so when you read a script like that, it's just immediately your instincts tell you that this is something that's going to appeal to a lot of people but attract high-level talent, because it's rare to read characters this well drawn.
You mentioned the sticky topics. That was something that really struck me, and I was so impressed immediately by this film because it addresses topics that a lot of people would be frightened of, like cancel culture, believing women, some of those really tricky things to navigate in a film. Nora has said that you, from the beginning, really understood creatively how to approach this. Can you talk a little bit about the early conversations you had? I know you made a list of directors, and Luca was at the very top of that list.
Oh, you've got the whole story. Yeah, I mean, I think part of the reason I got the script was I had done a movie at my last job called Fair Play that also...
Love that movie.
Oh, thank you so much. I do too. It's another film that I think has a lot to say and deals with, you know, shifting power dynamics. And so Nora's manager thankfully thought of me when she had read the script and sent it to me. And so I think, you know, I had an understanding of how to tackle themes like that in a way that were both provocative, but also, you know, leaving enough to the audience to fill in the blanks. And I think really that's where Luca came in. I mean, Luca, he was adamant from the beginning about really leaning into the morally gray area of it all and the ambiguity and not making it as clear-cut as the original draft of the script was. So, you know, listen, I would love to take more credit than I deserve, but at the end of the day, you read an incredible script, you put a list of filmmakers together that you think could be right for it, and the material starts to speak for itself. And when someone like Luca comes on, he really is the driving creative force behind this and behind the evolution of the script, along with our cast and collaborators over here. But it was, from the beginning, you know, Nora understood what she was going for, and the collaboration between her and Luca was really at the center of this in terms of getting it to what ended up on screen.
Did you get to have the nice job of telling Nora, who had been grinding to make it as a screenwriter for so long and working in all kinds of jobs to make it work, telling her that Luca had signed on to her film?
Yeah, it was pretty surreal. Not only that, one of my favorite little anecdotes was also that Nora, in addition to working at Meta training AI models, she previously was a hostess at the Chateau Marmont, and when Luca was in town in Los Angeles actually working on a commercial with Malik at the time that he had read the script, I met with Luca initially, and then he wanted to meet with Nora immediately, and so we set a meeting for that afternoon, and he was like, I'm staying at the Chateau. So I got to call Nora and say, not only are you gonna sit down with Luca Guadagnino, but you're gonna do it in your old stomping ground where all of your former employees still work, and they're gonna be like, oh my God, there's Nora Garrett meeting with Luca Guadagnino. It was pretty incredible, so.
Oh, that's such a Hollywood moment. It's brilliant, brilliant. Malik, I know that you took maybe a couple decades break from making features as a cinematographer. Not to say that you haven't been incredibly busy working on musical projects, including things like Beyonce's Lemonade and some of the most seminal music videos of the past 2 decades. What was it about Luca and this film that brought you back to features?
I guess it was a good time. You know, the time worked out. It's not that I wasn't interested in doing a feature, it was just the right one. It was the right time. You know, Luca got the script at the same time we were doing the commercial, and he told me what the story was about, and I was immediately intrigued. But then I've been intrigued by projects and read the script, and it was like, that's not it. But then I read the script, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. I told Nora that when I first met her, I was like, yeah, this got me back out. And so it was the two things. I mean, I just wanted to, you know, and you know, like I say, these films, we put a lot into them, and I wanted it to be meaningful and important for the society at large. So for me, this checked those boxes. You know, the script and working with Luca, who's a master. It was, when we did the commercial, I could see that this was going to be a great pairing. You know, him and I, because it was just very seamless and fluid, our working relationship.
Something extraordinary that I thought about while watching this film is that it's shot in the UK. The exteriors are Cambridge and Shepperton Studios soundstage. But I really believed, I mean, I'm from that area of England, but I believed that this was New Haven that I was seeing, and I had no idea. How did you do that?
I think that's one of the bigger accomplishments and something I'm very proud of with the film. And it's a collaborative. I mean, it's multiple people involved, and I guess a certain level of, like, it speaks to a certain level of craftsmanship by the people involved. Luca is very precise. He did not want any artifice. even down to the music that was played in the Three Sheets bar. It was a playlist that he got, and he had to be from that playlist. So it was his precision, and the good thing, or one of the things I think that really helped is that Stefano Paisi, the production designer, went and did research. He went to New Haven with some of his team, and to get good pictures and notes on all the locations. And then I was able to go in myself and really see the quality of light that existed there. And then we came back, and that was very helpful for us as we were recreating the spaces. And again, it wasn't until I saw it, we were all surprised. We were all like, oh, because it's all green screen. We shot, all the interiors were green screen. Yeah, greens, and then even the Bianecki, or the Beinecke is called, the quad, that's all blue screen, yeah. And so there's actually people on the film that I just worked with that went to Yale, and they 100% thought we shot there.
If I can just add real quick, my favorite tweet about the movie that came out when the trailer was first released was there was a tweet from the official Yale account that said, "When did Julia Roberts and Luca Guadagnino shoot a movie on our campus?" It's like, that's the greatest compliment you can get.
That is amazing.
And the VFX, he just had a great anecdote where after the screening in Venice, someone asked him, "What do you do?" He said, "I did the visual effects for the film." And the person was like, "There's no visual effects in this film. What are you talking about?" And it was nothing but visual effects.
That's when you know it's so good. You can't even see it. Jessica, I would love to talk about the casting here, because there's so amazing pairings and scene partners like Michael Stuhlbarg and Julia as husband and wife. It's just iconic. But I loved the pairing of Io and Andrew Garfield in some of these very tense scenes. Can you talk about kind of how those characters might have evolved with the casting process and been tailored to the casting process a little bit?
Yeah, hi. Well, I think you have a kind of, Luca moves so quickly that I think we had a very short period of time in which to really kind of interrogate what those pairings could look like, what the options would be. Julia was attached, which sets a kind of bar, and you also know on a Luca Guadagnino film, people really want to work with him. So there's a great deal of options at your fingertips, and it's important, to take that moment really carefully. We assembled a kind of great casting team that I also wanted to mention, because actually before we attached Io, we were able to kind of do quite a lot of investigation for the role of Maggie, which gave us a chance to really get to know the script, to get to know that sort of psychological dynamic that is so important. But always with Luca, you kind of are aware his brain is churning. He knows and loves actors. He's got an idea, and you kind of have a moment to challenge that before the trigger gets pulled. And so Io, was just sort of perfectly brilliant, and absolutely the next move we made before then addressing the role of Hank. And I think just watching that clip, actually, and you see Andrew is such a kind of an actor with such skill and depth, and I think you see his sort of the Shakespearean quality of what he's able to, where he's able to go, which, his version of Hank is extraordinary.
Absolutely. I love that no one in this film is either good or bad. You're never really handed a solution. You just get the space to kind of make your own decision. It's amazing and takes real talent to pull that off. I have to just personally say I was obsessed with Chloe Sevigny in this film as Kim. That moment in the bar where she says, "What happened to just stuffing it all down?" And you just think, oh, that's Gen X right there. Can you tell us about bringing her on too?
Yeah, I think that was an idea absolutely from Luca, who will collaborate with Chloe. I think for his whole career, he just adores her, and it's clear to see why. I think the look of Chloe, like talking about all of the aspects she would bring was a great conversation to get into. And then whenever I watch the film, I sort of look forward to those moments where she appears. It's just a detail and a calm and a kind of delivery that, yeah, you get that friendship, that kind of very tenuous and specific kind of a friendship. And her intellectualism, I think, as well, comes over.
Absolutely. We're almost out of time, but Alan, if you could just share something you're most proud of in having made this film.
I mean, so much, but I think the way it came together, the pace at which it came together, and which is a real testament to, I think, both Nora's script and the power of Luca Guadagnino and his ability to assemble just a unbelievable team at a rapid pace, but also hopefully adding to the cultural conversation and the dialogue about these issues and these themes, and starting questioning our own biases and prejudices as that we come into each experience with, and how that may influence our beliefs and someone else's narrative. I think for me, those were things that were really interesting, and I hope that people leave this movie wanting to talk about it and debate it.
Absolutely. Well, I hope everyone here gets to see the film. I urge you to see it. It's been an honor to have you all on our stage today. Congratulations.